You're listening to the best local sports show. Boots, Bats and Balls on Six Towns Radio.
Chills Bar, Bearsley, sponsors of Port Vale content on Six Towns Radio.
Tom Pope, Bramall Lane on Saturday. 3,000 plus Vale fans there. I wasn't there on Saturday. Everyone thought, with a minute go, Vale were in the next round, didn't they?
Well, yeah, was included. I think a little bit of naivety crept in, and we got suckered for it. I'm sure we'll learn from it. To go 90 minutes against the biggest club in the league above and be beating them, and to lose the way we did was just heartbreaking, to be honest.
Yeah, but the buzz ride home wasn't the easiest, was it?
No, they never are, to be honest. Any defeat you have's not a great feeling. I just think the circumstances, made it that little bit more better.
Mm-hmm. And then that yellow card that you got made you suspended for the Bradford game on Tuesday, so you had to sit out that one. That must have been another tough game for you, not being actually involved.
Well, yeah, obviously when you're scoring goals and you're playing well, you won't play in every game. Luckily for me, it was a suspension against the JPT. So, hopefully I'm fully switched on and fully raring to go for the Chesterfield game.
Yeah. Testing. Chesterfield game on Saturday. Back to league, a chance to go top maybe. A team that's doing okay.
Well, we're doing really well, league-wise. I think a couple of defeats and a few people are starting to have a moan and groan again, but that's part and parcel of football, a league. We've won our last 2 league games, I think. So we just got to keep building on it. We need to try to get a bigger gap as possible. We're not worried about top, second, third. We just need to start getting a gap between ourselves and 4th spot, and the more points and the bigger the gap that you can get between them. If you have your little slip-ups and blips where you go a few games without a win, it'll compensate for it if we've got a decent enough gap between the 4th place.
I wonder about Chesterfield's league form's been okay.
Well, Chesterfield have picked really up, obviously since Paul Cook's come in from John Sheridan. Whether they had injuries, suspensions, loss of form early on in the season, I don't know, but obviously Paul Cook's come in and really transformed them. And like I've said plenty of times, it's an old cliche, but if you're not on your game, you're not going to win games of football. There's no easy games in this league. If we play to our strengths and our ability, then we'll win the game. It's as simple as that. If we don't, then we'll get beat. Yeah,
Danny Whittaker, quite popular amongst the Vale fans, he should get a good reception. Marc Richards, maybe not, for whatever reason. 5 years playing at Port Vale, he leaves, the fans could get his back. that the fans can be quite fickle.
Well, fans are fickle, but obviously at the same time, I think a lot of it's just try and get in Rico's head and try and put him off his game. I think any knowledgeable footballing person knows what a great influence Rico had on this club. He was our talisman for the last 3 or 4 years, scored goals, one of the all-time leading scorers for the club, and he was terrific for the club. Through the dark times he really held it together, and I think if you ask any player or fan or staff that have been at Port Vale, they won't have a bad word said against him. Obviously fans are going have their say, and I think if you're a footballing person and know full well the turmoil the club was in when he left, not knowing whether he's going to get paid, he's got 2 young kids, so he went to a club that had got a chance of promotion, because I'm sure at the start of the season most people had Chesterfield to finish above Port Vale. So he's gone to a club obviously with promotion ambitions, obviously knowing full well he was going to be paid and paid on time, and good luck to him. He's a great lad, and he's got nothing but respect from any of the lads here.
Did you learn anything playing alongside him?
Well, you're always learning as a player. Rico was like I say, with his back to goal, he wasn't too bad. He was a real strong lad. He could hold players off. And he had great technical ability. He's one of them that if he got 25 yards from goal, he could smash a ball. It's something I can't do. I try and get as close to the goal as I can. But yeah, you know, he's a great lad. We spoke all the time, had nights out, and he's a top man. So, you know, I wish him luck in his career, and hopefully, you know, if they get promoted, they'll be getting promoted below us.
Yeah, what are your thoughts going into the run up to Christmas? A few, you know, big games.
Every game's big, especially around this period. I think, you know, it's tough and go, especially around Christmas, the couple of days after New Year. You know, they come in thick and fast, and we just need to try and keep everybody fit. I'm sure a lot of players are going to be used around the Christmas period. It's not going to be everybody playing every game. You know, it's going to be chop and change and try and keep everybody fresh and fit, and I'm sure the gaffer's going to be thinking about that, you know, when the time comes. But we'd like to say we just got to take every game as it comes, try and get the 3 points, and try stay as unbeaten for as long as we can, and like I say, just try and get that gap between ourselves and fourth place.
Yeah, because it's like halfway through the season then, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think once you get halfway and the new year turns, you can have a good assessment of where you are, what you need to do, what results you've had, what team strengths are. You've played everybody, so you know what you've got to do points-wise, and you know, I think if you can get to New Year in the top 3, and especially if you can get a little gap between yourselves and fourth place, as I've said, you know, I think it gives you a good confidence boost knowing you're over halfway then, and you feel that, you know, if you do the same again, then you're going to be promoted.
Great stuff, Tom. Thanks for that, mate.
No problem.